Hi everyone, it's Christina from the DIYmommy.com, and today I want to share with you 4 simple steps to finding the perfect paint color for your home. I get asked this question over and over and over and over again: what color should I paint my walls? I think this is a tricky question because the color that I might paint your walls might be different than the color that you want to paint your walls. So I think this is really subjective depending on your personality, your style, all that kind of stuff. So today I want to give you my 4 steps that I go through when I choose a paint color for my home, and I'm hoping that they'll help you to pick a really personal color that you love for your home. Not just something that I'm telling you to pick or that a designer is telling you to pick, but something that you are really going to love in your own home. This video is part of my Simple Decor Tips series. You guys have been loving this series. Thank you so much for watching it. So make sure to check out all the other videos in this series in the playlist. I'll link it up in the description box below. So let me get started in sharing with you these 4 steps in choosing a really good paint color for your walls. After I share these steps, I'm going to share a few more hints on how to choose paint color, so make sure to stick around for those. So step number 1 to choosing the perfect paint color for your walls in your home is to put together a Pinterest board or a collection on house.com and just start pinning and saving tons of photos of rooms that you love. And you might not even know why you love them, but just save them. So just create a board. Maybe it's your living room you want to paint, so just start pinning images on Pinterest. It could be just a secret board for yourself of all of the spaces that you love. So after you've pinned, 10, 20, 30 images, have a look at your collection of images. You can also do this on House in their collections. I really like House too because often they'll have kind of a more professional looking interiors on there. So it's kind of up to you what you like. So look at your collection and try to see if there's a common theme of wall color in the rooms you have pinned. And I bet you there is going to be. There's going to be 1 or 2 wall colors that you subconsciously really love. So when we were building our home, I pinned a whole bunch of inspiration photos of rooms that I loved. I love color, so I thought I would want to paint all of the walls in our new home a color, but when I looked at all of the images I pinned, most of them had a white or really close to white wall with colors in the accessories, in the furniture, in the soft furnishings, and then I realized I should paint my walls really close to white because I love color in my furnishings and my textiles. So that's the first step. Make an inspiration board of rooms that you love. Second step is choose 3 to 5 paint colors based on the colors that repeat in all of those photos. So for me, I chose 3 to 5 shades of white and grayish white. So go to your favorite paint store. I've worked with all sorts of paints. I like lots of different brands. Benjamin Moore is definitely a great brand, good coverage, though it's quite expensive. I really like Behr from Home Depot. I've used that a lot too. We painted our house a lot with Valspar from Lowe's. I've also had good success with that. So just choose a paint that you enjoy, that you love. I'd say out of all of those, I prefer Behr for the coverage and the price. I feel like the coverage is very similar to Benjamin Moore, but the price is less expensive. Then take those 3 to 5 paint chips home, bring them into the light in your own home. That's going to be different than the light in the paint store, and then choose 2 to 3 colors that are your favorite from those chips. So step number 3 is get paint samples. Get actual pots, actual samples of paint. You don't want to just pick the paint by the paint chip because that little itty bitty square of color isn't going to represent what that color is going to look like in a larger spot in your home, right? So buy 2 to 3 sample pots of color and paint those in about a 3 by 3 foot swatch at least on your walls, because you want to see how that paint looks in that specific room with the light. You want to stare at it during the day, you want to stare at it at night, you want to see how it looks in your space at all times of day. The reason for this is the paint color can totally change dependent on the light in the room, dependent on whether it's just sunlight or whether you have your lights on in your home, and it can totally change if the room is small or if the room is larger. There's so many variables that can change how a paint color looks. And then finally, once you've done that, you can narrow down your favorite swatch out of those 3 large swatches choose your swatch, and step number 4 is paint. And I have a whole bunch of paint tips on my blog. I'll leave those in the description box below if you want to paint. I definitely recommend DIY painting if you can, if you have the time. It'll save you lots of money, and the more you do it, the better you're going to get. So those are my 4 steps to choosing a paint color that you love. That's what I do, and that seems to be what works best for me. So a few other tips when you're choosing paint colors. Tip number 1 is go a little bit lighter than you think you are going to need, because once that paint kind of bounces off the walls, off each other, it's going to look a little bit darker than you anticipated. So for example, I painted my daughter's room a really nice blush pink, and it was pretty much the lightest pink on that swatch card, even though I was tempted to go one darker. If I would have went one darker, it would have been a really bright looking pink. The second tip when you're choosing a paint color is if you don't want it to look too juvenile or too kiddish, make sure there's a teeny little bit of gray in the color. So I know lots of people like myself love aquas and sage greens and turquoises, but if you don't want it to look too juvenile, if you want more of a sophisticated greenish bluish color, make sure there's a little bit of gray in that color. On the swatch, it might even read gray. My mom painted her island a color called Comfort Gray by Sherwin-Williams. It looks quite gray on the paint card. It looks like it maybe has a bit of green, but when she put it on her island, it looks quite mint green. But it's a sophisticated mint green because it has that nice gray color in it. So that's the second tip that I think you'll find helpful. The third tip and the final tip I have for choosing a paint color is you can color match colors from one brand to the other. So if there's a Benjamin Moore color that you absolutely adore, there's some beautiful colors. That's one thing I do love about Benjamin Moore. They have some gorgeous colors, really nice complex colors with grays and mixes and stuff. If you are in love with a color by Benjamin Moore, you can get that color paint matched in a less expensive paint like Behr. So you can take that paint chip from Benjamin Moore, bring it into Home Depot, and get them to match that color in their brand. So I hope you found those 4 steps and those few tips for choosing a paint color for your home helpful. I would love to hear in the comments below if you've had troubles choosing paint, or what your methods for choosing paint colors in your home are. I'd also like to know if you guys want to hear a video about all of the paint colors in our home. This is a question I do get asked often, so I was thinking of putting together just one video just listing and showing you all the paint colors we have in our home. If that's something that interests you, let me know and I would be happy to share. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you like home decor and DIYs on a budget, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.